Hey, grab a seat.
Hello. Hello. I haven't been in a cane
I'm already recording.
Oh, are you? I thought that was your projector.
Yeah, the nice low-tech way instead of the cane way. Cane has some special something. So, I gave this last Monday, so today's will be a little bit better, I hope.
Okay. We won't know.
You
only had
know.
2 people, right?
Yeah, it was just Carla. Hey.
I didn't register.
That's okay.
Didn't figure. Hopefully you're not going to do a background check to find out who's away up there.
No, it comes down to everybody fitting more than anything else.
Do you think I'll have room? Do you have room?
I think there will be room.
Okay, if not, I'll leave.
We've already had 2 people drop out, so. Yeah.
I have to, were those the 2 people that attended last Monday?
No, thank goodness.
Oh, that's I was wondered. I know, I'm going to enjoy it.
I might drop out, so you can.
Yeah.
I'll be here for a day.
See if you can log in. Always.
Is that the first step?
The first step, right? See if you can log in.
Is that part of the class? If we can't log in.
That's what I said.
Is that her prerequisite?
Well, I'll tell you. This is a nice lab. It's meant for teaching and everything. Even got a computer here for me, but it doesn't have Linux on it. All the rest do. So it's like, so I'm using that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Operating systems, whatever the heck they are, right?
Right.
Yeah. Today we are going to go through the motions without understanding why.
Okay.
Because
I do that all day.
That sounds like my job.
That's my life.
And slowly we will explain why over the coming weeks.
Leland, can you give me some background on your expertise in Linux? I mean,
Sure.
How do you know so much about it?
I've been using Linux or Unix for 30-some years. I started with when Kane first started, when it wasn't Linux, and been programming and using the computers constantly over that time.
And so are you a self-taught programmer?
I had Engine 101, which is the freshman engineering, everybody has to take it kind of class, which this is. Other than that, I'm self-taught.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah.
Knowing you.
But, yeah, I mean, the problem is that it would be nice if I weren't self-taught. But they don't really teach programming here. They teach something else. And the stuff that they do teach that is programming is not for science.
Programmer.
It's not for science. Right?
Oh.
There's kind of like computer science, and then there's electrical engineering.
Mm-hmm. And computer engineering.
And computer engineering somewhere in the middle.
And you know who Kelly is, right?
Yeah, definitely. But the computer science folks aren't interested in solving differential equations and figuring out how the electron is transported in the whatever. They're interested in computer science issues. And I'm not. They're great to have because I need what they do so I can do what I do, but I don't want to do what they do. I want to do this stuff, and this stuff doesn't tend to be taught. So I just taught myself as needed. I mean, I sort of had, there's 101, Engine 101, and then there's Zeeks 280, which is like the first first
Program.
programming class that all Eeks folks have to take. So I had those, but
You know, we have an Eeks 101 now.
really,
Yeah.
what is it?
Well, I hesitate to even say that. Jeff Ringenberg's teaching it, and it's meant to be computer science. I don't know how much programming and stuff they get
Sure.
into. For the math is the non-computer science major, and the people down in LSA tend to take it. It's listed out there if you're curious.
Yeah,
You might want to.
Yeah, I just came from one of Jeff's classes. He's teaching Engine 101 right now, and I went to see how he was doing.
So is that the course is it cross-listed as Eeks 101?
No, he's saying
It's
Engine
different, right?
101.
Engine 101 and Eeks 101 are different.
Yeah, they're totally different because I think the other one,
Yeah.
Eeks 101 is probably meant for non-engineering, but I don't know.
Yeah. So,
It's new.
yeah, basically, the reason I got into this was because one of my grad students is TAing Engine 101, and I wasn't happy with how it was being taught. It annoyed me. So I decided before I could tell them that they sucked at it, I better try it, because what do I know until I've tried it? And so, in a large part, I'm here to get your feedback as to if I'm doing a good job or not. Now today is going to be largely you do what I say, and we'll explain why later. So that's a bit frustrating, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I don't like to be told what to do. Without knowing why.
You know, I think it's going to have a room full of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, getting started with something so completely different, there's a bunch of stuff that you can't talk about until you've done it, and you can't do it until you've talked about it. So we're just going to go through it by me showing you, and then we'll explain why it's that way. Over the course of several.
Luckily, I trust you.
I can't get on the Did you use your Google password?
Maybe she doesn't have one.
No, she should.
You should. So this is the thing you give to read your email on Google.
Yeah.
And it's not working?
I log in now.
Did it cut you off?
What's your username? That's what I would be using.
Something. Always something. Now I know Don looked and made sure that you all had working accounts. Okay? So this must be something else.
Are you going to explain to us? No, I won't have to.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The different, how Linux fits into, what are we talking about, OS and Mac, and is that where it fits in that?
I'm gonna
the very basic?
I'm gonna mention that very briefly.
He's a non-Macker.
Yeah. I am willing to make this be whatever you want it to be. So if I'm not answering your questions, yell at me. I don't plan on giving a detailed accounting of the differences between the different operating systems.
That's not what I wanted.
I'm just going to mention that, that there's Linux, there's Mac OS, and there's Windows.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
And that's it, pretty much.
Okay.
Those run your computer.
Operating system.
And you're stuck with one of them if you're using a computer.
Okay.
These, you can actually reboot them into Windows or Linux. So I spent 15 minutes rebooting them all
Into Linux.
because, of course, they were all in Windows.
Who else, so broadly, you can get started whenever.
No, go ahead.
Broadly, who are the Linux users?
Don Windsor, oops, sorry.
The Linux users are people that, the Linux users are people
This
that
one's broke,
basically,
sorry. Come sit. Sit up front.
they're the programming geeks.
Okay.
Don't
And
take the last
okay.
one, that one's mine.
Okay.
They're the ones who generally speaking, most of the free open source type software out there was written on Linux first and then ported to the other two so that it would work everywhere kind of thing. Linux was made to do programming on. Windows was made for people to use it. And so their philosophies are different, so the way they end up doing stuff is different. And you can still program on Windows, of course, because you have to in order to have Windows. But generally speaking, Linux is better suited for a programmer because there's all kinds of stuff you need in order to make it easy. And it has it, and Windows has it in a crappy way. And if we can't get Shane on today, we'll get you on next time. We will make that work. Come on in, have it, take a spot wherever you want, except the last one over there.
And this
that's
one
me.
is broke.
Yeah, one's broken. Whatever's good.
We have two back rows.
So, one of the things I'd like to emphasize about this class is that it's not your normal me standing up here talking, you sitting there taking notes and shutting up. The shutting up part in particular. I really want you to talk to each other and talk to me, because I don't think the sitting there doing, not talking is a good way to learn. I think it's really screwed up. So we're in a lab, talk, see what they're doing, help each other, that kind of stuff,
How are you doing?
Not maybe not right now, but in general.
You might have the opposite problem with us.
But then once we get there, I don't know where to go.
And I know some people learn better talking about it with folks. So, whatever works for you. What do you think? What time's it getting to be?
12:10, I'm done.
Yep, we got trouble.
All right, well, one more minute. Yeah.
Especially Michigan.
Catherine is not going to be making it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And if Amy signed up, she's not coming.
All right, well, maybe this is all fine.
Her broke. Password.
There's my, that's it.
These lights don't work at all. That's probably a little better. You guys can stand it, I suspect. Okay. Well, why don't we get started? Hopefully you can all log in. If not, share with your neighbor. Whatever it takes. Okay. So today we're gonna go over the programming process, and in large part you're not going to know what you're doing, and I'm not going to explain it, but we're going to get through the whole process of doing all the different steps, and then in subsequent hours we're going to talk about why we did what we did today. And of course it's cut off.
Okay.
What are you going to do? All right. So yeah. Generally speaking, we're going to have a little bit of lecture, a little bit of demo, and a little bit of class exercise in each of our hours. So we're going to learn how to program in Linux in C, whatever the heck that means, right? So lunch hour on most Mondays, maybe not every Monday. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, Carla's not going to be here next Monday because of MLK Day. Is anybody else going to not be able to come on next Monday? Okay, so I can just make up Carla. All right, so some people actually requested homework, tests, and grades, and some people were completely against that. So, whatever works for you, everything's optional. You can look at it, decide if you want to do it or not. Okay, so 15 minutes of lecture, 15 minutes of demo and actually doing stuff, and then a little 15 minutes of doing something a little harder. And me and Liz will go around helping you one-on-one or whatever it takes. I'm making a video even right now, and the camera's right there. But mostly all of these are going to be on most of these are going to be on the website, which is this thing. So I'm going to have the view graphs there as a PDF, and I'm going to have the video there too. I don't expect you're actually going to be able to read it off the video stuff. At least you'll be able to hear me. So I can help outside of class as well if you have any questions, missed classes, whatever. You know where I am. Okay, so a lot of what you have to do with computers is related to the hardware. So this is the quick overview of what a computer hardware system looks like. So it's got the CPU in the middle. It's got monitor, of course, keyboard, hard drive, RAM, and the hard drive and the RAM are what we'll be mostly dealing with. And you deal with them separately in different ways inside C, but you deal with all of them. So the hard drive has all your files on it, and the RAM has the working program doing its thing.
CPU stands for Central Processing Unit?
There you go, yes. And yeah, what the heck is that? We will get to that on day 3, exactly what's going on inside the CPU. All this is circuits, dumb hardware, and what we're trying to do is make it do something useful. And so it's a lot of lectures I've been to in the past week. In Engine 101, they talk about magic going on inside. There's no magic at all. It's just circuits. And so there is nothing crazy about this. Everybody can do it. So there's 3 major operating systems. We're going to work on Linux just because it's easier to deal with all this stuff in Linux, and Kane has it all set up. And it's the only thing I know, which is a major consideration. So there's operating systems, and then there's applications that run on those operating systems, like Word and Excel and Firefox and all that stuff. So what we're going to be dealing with is applications. We're going to be writing our own applications. One of the other things is that software is often more than one file. Sometimes there's data files that they need to do stuff with. Maybe there's multiple executables, different versions, all kinds of stuff. So we're just going to concentrate on single file programs to start. All right. So there's 3 main applications that we're going to be using. One is called the command line, one's a text editor, and one's a compiler. So the command line is used to run programs. It isn't made to run GUI type stuff, but stuff that's kind of like text-based programs, which is mostly what we'll be doing here. Then there's the text editor that you use to type in the program itself. And it's completely different than what you're used to with your word processor, and we'll get to that shortly. And then there's the compiler, which converts this file with a bunch of text in it into a program that can actually run. So, the Linux command line. It's a GUI. Everything's a GUI, right? So it's a very simple GUI. All it is a very empty, rectangular thing on your screen here. And all it does is it lets you type stuff in. And there's this thing called a prompt here, which tells you the computer is waiting for you to tell it what to do. And so it's got some stuff at the top, the usual buttons for getting rid of it, and making it be full screen and iconifying it and stuff like you're used to. It's got a menu on the other side, which we won't use anytime soon. And then it's got the prompt there to tell you that computer's waiting. And all you do is you type commands at the prompt, and you get some kind of response. So there's a bunch of commands. These are a very few of the commands that we'll need soon for doing things. So ls, we list the contents of a folder. So that's like you going to your folder, double-clicking on it. It brings this thing up with all those icons showing you all the files and all the other directories and folders and stuff that you have. So that's what ls does, but text only. cd allows you to move from directory or folder to another directory or folder. So it stands for change directory. And so in Linux, everything's called a directory instead of a folder. It's basically the semantic. Same idea. cp, copy a file from one place to another. rm, you can remove or delete a file. pwd, you print the name of the current folder that you're in. Sometimes you get lost and you need to know where the heck you are. gcc, very silly name for compiling a program. Emacs, another very silly name for editing a program. And mkdir allows you to make a directory or folder. So we'll use all these shortly. So the typical program development flow is you log in, you start the command line GUI, you go to the directory where your code is, you edit the file, you compile it, you run it, and then you go back up there and edit your file and compile and run again until the thing works. And works is whatever you think that is. So this is it in graphical mode. So we log in, we start that command line, which is actually one of the first things we'll be doing here shortly. Go to wherever it is, say proj1 is a directory with a bunch of junk in it. You bring up the editor called Emacs, using that file as its sole argument, and it'll bring up the graphical user interface for the text editor. You edit it however you want. Leave it there. You go back to your command line. You compile it with this GCC thing here, which we will explain, and then you try to run it, which is this thing right here. And then if it doesn't work, you figure out what the heck's wrong and change it. And if this doesn't work, which often it doesn't, you figure out what's wrong and you fix it. So there's a lot of going back and fixing what's wrong. That's most of what programming is, unfortunately, because we suck. We never do anything right the first time. And I still never do, even after 30 years of doing this. I still screw up all the time, and I get errors in all the places. So, time for the demo. Okay, so you're all logged in, almost all. Okay, so how to start the command line GUI. All right, you go to Applications and go way down to System Tools, then go way down to one of those terminal things and click. And it will bring up a terminal.
So it gave me this screen, and I was already signed in.
Yeah, it's stupid.
After a certain amount of time.
Just stick your password in and unlock. Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah, that happened to me.
I did unlock it. Oh.
There you go. All right.
So now I go to the computer?
All right, so Applications,
Applications on that.
then all the way down to System Tools, and almost all the way down to one of those things that looks like a terminal, and up it comes. Okay, so does everybody have it up? Okay, so first thing you need to do is this right here. Just type this in exactly the way it is. There's a space right there after the W gets, and I'll explain why you're doing this later.
Do we do it right next to the bash?
Yes, yes. Just start typing. When you get to here, hit return. It should spew some garbage and then give you another prompt. Okay. So try some of these things here. Do pwd, see what the name of your current folder is. It should be some fairly long gibberish thing. All that really matters is the tail end of it. Then you can try listing the contents of your folder. There should already be stuff there that Kane put there when they set it up. Was there anything there for anybody? Yeah, there's junk there? Okay. So now let's make a new directory, and we'll call it day 1. So make dir space day 1, and hit return.
Wait a minute.
MK, there's day 1.
It should just go right to another prompt. So in order to make sure that it actually did something, type ls. Yep.
Mine says already did.
Yeah, you already did it. So call it day 1 underscore another, if you'd like. Or don't bother and just go to your day 1.
Well, I'm letting her do my log.
Yeah. So call it day 1 underscore another. It doesn't really matter. But don't put spaces in the names of directories, unlike in Windows. No spaces in names of directories or names of files. Because otherwise, for this command line stuff, everything is separated by spaces. So never use spaces in names of stuff. And that'll go for C as well. You don't put spaces in names.
Okay, nothing there, okay.
So yeah, we're not doing anything. Have you done an LS? Can you see that there's a day 1 entry in that stuff that it prints?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you created that. So, yes.
All of these other things that are there, they're all under our own.
That's
these are
right.
our own individual
This
directories.
is all individual, yes. They just create the same thing for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go into this new directory that you created by doing the cd space day 1. And go ahead and list it. You'll probably see that there's absolutely nothing there, so we'll just get back a prompt. So now we're going to create our first C program. So type in Emacs, then do a space, and type prog1.c space, and then stick this and sign in there, which is shift 7. Yeah.
No, I haven't created our thing. I thought we decided we were going to create it.
No. This right here makes it so that Emacs has Control-C, Control-X, Control-V, Control-Z, and all that stuff, just like they're used to. So that way it's close.
Cheating in a good way.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Caroline.
Okay. I did like a new file, gave it a name. Then I did CD and put that name in there again.
Right?
And then I got
The prompt.
the prompt.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in there.
That's right. It should be empty. And that's exactly right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it should be empty. So Emacs the file if you want. So you need to do this guy right here, Emacs prog1.c. So has everybody got something that looks kind of like an editor up now? Okay. So a text editor, this Emacs thing is very distinct from a word processor. The text editor doesn't care about fonts, doesn't care about sizes, doesn't care about colors, doesn't care about headings, sections, any of that stuff that you're used to in a normal document. All it is just plain text. And so it doesn't have a whole bunch of tools that you're used to for dealing with all those things. Instead, it has other tools, and we'll get to that. For now, just type in any old stuff and make sure that it works. Type in any old junk you feel like. Click your mouse. Try copying, pasting, deleting. Just get familiar with it. Fiddle around. Control-C, Control-V, Control-X, all those things should work just like you're used to. No? Yeah, control, not command. All right. Yes. You're all used to command, it's all right, but it's control. Okay, and backspace and delete, those should work just like normal. So all these things work for everybody? All right. You'll see at the top menu bar you can do the search, and you can save the file, and you can click. But don't do any of those. There's nothing to save yet. So, okay. Man. Is there any way I can get this to come? No, probably not.
Put that with and like there in the top.
Okay, so there's a program from here to here. Why don't you type that in, get rid of whatever else you stuck in that file, and just type that in.
In the editor thing.
In the editor thing. Spaces matter, and case matters as well, so as exact as you can. And when you're done, save your file.
Where's the funky bracket? Where's the funky bracket?
Those curly things?
Yeah.
These
Right
things?
here.
Yeah.
These are somewhere right around here. Yeah, they're next to the P.
Oh. Thank you.
Do we end that, we go to the, okay.
Yeah, so the last line in your file should be this guy right here.
Do we indent that print stuff?
No.
Okay, that's just regular.
Indent. Yeah, you can indent it if you want.
Man.
Might as well for now. You can hit Tab. That'll tend to indent the way it thinks you should, which we'll get to. So, has everybody got it in almost? So make sure this is a backslash, and make sure these are double quotes, not single quotes. Make sure that's a semicolon, not anything else. They're up near the top in the menu bar. There should be a save icon. It's a little down arrow, green down arrow next to the X. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, how we doing? All right. Okay, so now we're going to compile.
So before you compile, make sure everybody saves your editor with that little down arrow thing, or else it's not going to compile what
Right.
seems to happen.
I just file save. Is it the same thing?
File save works too.
Okay.
There's always multiple ways of doing stuff. Whatever works for you. Okay, so go back to your command line, and
Oh, the black window?
Command line is your black
Yeah.
window.
Okay.
that's interesting. So list the contents of the directory. Make sure that the file you just created is actually there. So it should list something called prog1.c, and it'll also list something called prog1.c with a little fiddly after it.
May not found.
That's a backup file just in
It's
case.
LS. I thought it was IS.
Yeah, ls. There you go, prog1.c. I don't think you saved it yet.
Well, mine only did the process.
Then I went back to it.
So,
Yeah, mine too.
I did that.
okay.
Did it again.
That's okay.
Did you turn your S into a dollar sign? Right here?
How we doing?
That's the policy. This is what I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but it's in a dollar.
now you want to actually compile it. So type in this thing right here. It starts with GCC, a space, -O, space,
Dash
prog1. Yeah, it's a -O. And then another space after prog1, and then prog1.c, and then hit return.
Nothing happened.
And if nothing happens, you did well.
I have an error.
Because you only get output from the compiler if you screwed up.
Oh. Good news.
So, yes, that's good news. Now, ls again to see that there's a new file in there called prog1. And basically we told it, when we did the compiler, we told it output to a file named prog1 and use prog1.c as the input. That's what, sort of, kind of, that's what that's doing. So it creates a file called prog1 for us, and the prog1 is something we can execute.
But it's also got prog1.c, prog1.c tilde.
Yes, those should all still be there, definitely. We don't want it to get rid of prog1.c because in the usual case, we screw up and we have to go back and fix it.
Oh.
So we always want that laying around.
So those are little breadcrumbs.
Yes, breadcrumbs. Okay, so go ahead and run it. Type in /prog1 and hit return. And it should say something. It should say hello, yeah.
It didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything.
No.
Well, we something. How's most everybody got it to say hello?
After I corrected my wrong back. What I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's all I do.
Oh, that didn't speak.
Well, that's what I did last hour.
You forgot the and after
Yeah, no, I
prog1.c
mean, I did the same
way
thing
up
last
here.
time.
How the hell did you know?
And then it's just prog.c. Boy, I'm losing
All right, we were supposed to leave this. And now, you can do all the rest of it. You gotta redo GCC and all that stuff.
This is like a big, yeah.
Go ahead, type GCC and then try running it. See what happens.
Parent after.
Yeah.
Looks like it should work. Print, yeah.
See if I can have the thing that gave me back to hello customer.
Yours said hello?
Why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
All great.
The same thing as the training class.
How we doing, Shayna? Almost?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shayna discovered what happens if you don't do the and, which was right here. This and sign. Because she didn't do that and sign, her command line didn't see anything else that she did after she started up Emacs. Because Emacs, you start it up and it's sitting there running, and the way the command line works, it's waiting for whatever command you run to finish before it gives you another prompt. And so we started Emacs in such a way that we told the command line, don't wait for it to finish. And that's an important distinction. I mean, there's two ways of running every program. You run it and you wait for it to finish, or you run it and you say, don't wait, just run it and give me back a prompt. So that's what the and does. Give me back a prompt and I don't care. Command is running or not. And without that, you kind of have to go and start another shell, another command line, and that's a nuisance. So details. Okay, so everybody got that to run. That's good. So now it's time to do some slightly more creative work instead of just doing what I tell you to do. Make a new program, call it prog2.c, and have it print your name instead of hello. And ideally, you start from scratch. You're not going to use the program you already have.
Can we get out and open it back up?
I'll let you decide.
I need my notes. I'm not,
I don't think folks really know what it means.
No?
Everyone know what it means?
You have to, all
Yeah.
this after WGE.
So-
They don't realize that they made a new file when they typed Emacs.
They don't?
Typed Emacs
No.
again,
Right.
created a new
Okay,
file.
so quit Emacs.
How do we do that?
There should be something up there that lets you
I'll
quit.
quit.
Like an X?
So then type in Emacs, and instead of saying Emacs space prog1.c, do Emacs space prog2.c.
And the ampersand.
And the ampersand.
Okay, so it gives you a new one.
Gives you a new one. Now type in something that instead of printing hello, it prints your name or something. Something other than hello.
But,
Can you go back and
I
give
can
us
go
one?
back and-
yeah, because we didn't, I
And
didn't
of course,
think
it's all screwed up.
And
At some point, you'll tell us what all this means.
Yeah, at some point I will tell you what all this means, but it will take several hours to do it.
Okay.
Okay, Emacs, prog.c.
There.
Thank you.
Each line will probably take an hour to explain. So, it'll be a bit.
I did Emacs, prog.c, the and sign. Do I give a name now? Or do I hit return and then give the name?
When you hit return, that should open up the window.
The name of the file you're creating is the thing that comes right after Emacs. So prog.c is the name of the file you'll be creating.
Okay, so do I just hit enter?
You can hit return right now.
Oh, they had it, the duty.
Oh, okay, and then we're over here. I thought I had to name it like something right now.
Okay. You have it saved prog2.
Oh, that's right.
Remember to save it.
Ouch.
Oh, there it is.
Wait a minute.
So you basically just want us to do a new one that says something other than hello.
That's right.
Okay.
I just want you to get used to running Emacs, typing stuff in, saving, compiling, and running. I just want you to do that a few times to get used to it, that whole
I don't
process.
think I did it right.
That's what we do over and over and over again when we program.
I think you told me before, like this
The
slash,
backslash,
N.
the backslash n is basically one of the issues with programming is that we need to be able to do stuff that it isn't on the keyboard. We need to be able to somehow tell computer programs to do stuff that has nothing to do with what's on the keyboard. And so this right here is a way of telling the compiler that we would like it to have a line feed carriage return at the end of that text string, so that it makes a nice another line for it. And
But where's that little back line?
there's a bunch of stuff like that, which we will get to. Can't find the backslash?
Yeah, no such file directory.
Yeah, it's up on the, next to the paren.
Yeah, I got you guys in the dark, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's,
There's,
So, and save.
I put this in to try to run it, correct?
Oh, you
That's
want
what we did over here.
Then I go over here. and I say, oh,
where's your GCC? You got to do this
I got it.
to create the executable first.
But then what do we do?
Before I did this?
So once you save the file, now you compile it.
And that's this?
So you do GCC -O,
okay.
and then give it another name, say prog2, and then a space, and then prog2.c. All right, not happy?
Yep.
Oh, I did.
Ah, it's not quite right.
Welcome to programming.
You are missing
Lower.
this.
Oh. Oh, shoot.
go back over
Can you
that.
go back in and edit that just on this page?
Yes, yes,
You don't have
definitely.
to retype it all.
That's right.
Mine is.
I'm making you redo it all just so you get used to it, but generally speaking, yeah. You leave it up, and you go back and fix it, compile, go back and fix it, compile, go back and fix it, and then you kill yourself after a while, because
So once
it's so
you,
often.
once you save it, what's the first thing you do once you
You
save
have to
it?
compile it. GCC will
Okay.
compile it.
How do I go to my directory?
Oh.
Which directory? Do ls to see what's there.
Okay.
There's day one. CD
CD.
to change directory, and then say day one. There you go.
Okay, great. Okay.
How's it going, Gene?
Now, hold on.
On.
Yeah, he stays. I go back here.
So only
I got him to pop up.
Maybe
You've
I'll
got
go.
prod 2. Now you need to do GCC
It didn't come.
space
Oh.
minus O.
Well, I think
Minus
I
O,
did
telling
it
it
last time. I
what the
was-
output file should be. See, it's right there. GCC minus O, prod1, prod1.c, prod2, prod2.c. So it'll output the prod2, and it'll use prod2.c as the input.
Okay.
And it's pissed.
Mine didn't work either.
That's good.
Okay. So.
I wonder if I missed
So what
something.
did we do? You're missing the end
Save on that.
curly brace.
Save that, right?
There.
Yeah, more than one.
And then I just came up when I was looking.
I hate not knowing what.
Yes, definitely.
I'm still having fun.
I sympathize. I definitely hate not knowing why as well. And I considered,
And then the name.
I considered teaching it from first principles.
Did you get it to work? GCC, blah, blah, blah. So this is GCC dash O,
But
program 2, program 2.
it's going to be really slow. So I'm going once over lightly, and backing up, and then explaining why we did it that way, and then backing up again actually, and explaining why we did that way. And yeah, I think it'll work better, but yeah, you kind of have to postpone disbelief.
Maybe you need to run it now. Mine's still not working. I don't know.
Not working?
I don't think I'd be good at this. Mine is-
Show off.
When I did this, did I override?
You want to run prog2, not prog2.c.
Oh.
So I did that, like you said.
All right, it works. The GCC looks good, but it's pissed about something, missing terminating double quotes. Okay, you've got a backslash and then a double quote. You need a backslash end and then a double quote.
Oh, darn it.
Now try it. And you can make it easy on yourself by hitting the up arrow.
Oh, okay.
It compiles.
Now I gotta run it.
Try running it.
I gotta remember how to run it.
Yeah, /, and then the name of the program, in this case, prod2.
Oh, okay.
And it works.
Oh, but why don't we do part 2?
A little help from my friend.
Okey doke. So does everybody have that working?
So when I get ready
No?
for the Emacs part, I have to.
That's really.
I don't.
Why did we do part 1? Be up here and not part 2. Just do that one.
Okay, well, every time we have,
Right. I know, I missed
you need,
sound included.
wherever it is,
Ah.
you need
And I missed this.
the name
The
of
end.
the program you're running, which is the
Yeah, backslash
compiler.
N.
Minus O says the next thing, the next thing that's coming is the output file name.
2 minutes.
And the next thing after
Because I
that
don't know
is the name of the input file.
Right.
Okay, the .c, the file that says ends in .c.
We should try and do
this is
another
close,
one.
but it's missing the name of the input file, which is
But I
we
did
should
it
try
up
to do
here.
another.
I did it this time. I didn't
I'm
realize
gonna
I
like
did
X
that.
out, right? I'm gonna try an X. Yeah. I did the file X. I'll try it. It'll work.
I was waiting for my words. I was about
It
to.
didn't print anything,
Can I
so
just erase
the
this
compiler
one?
works.
I mean, can I just go
You
back to
did
that
this,
step?
you did this, it created prod2, now run it, /prod2.
Yeah, I don't have all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I will try to fix that, /, and then prod2.
Okay, let me go through it. Like here.
I love puzzles.
That was
Oh,
smart,
it
wasn't
did.
it?
It worked.
Go back to the beginning, what did we do?
Yes, I understand. I understand.
Oh, the Emacs,
All right.
one, and the and. I'm gonna copy that.
I did print them out.
I got smart.
We're not gonna need them.
In some sense, I'm seeing if you can handle it without that. I know.
So I failed.
It was a test. It was a test.
Andy failed.
Okay, so everybody got that working? Okay. Let's see. How about make another one that prints 2 lines instead of just one? Maybe your name on the first, somebody else's name on the second. Well, whatever you like, as long as it's 2 lines.
You're gonna put that back.
So, okay, we'll go back.
I'm gonna
There we
get
go.
right this time, the first time.
I don't know which pieces have to.
Can't we just go into the other one and erase the line?
You could, but
Oh, you're trying to.
I'm forcing you to get
Okay.
used to
Making
running
mistakes.
Emacs, and, doing all this stuff, so you get some motor memory and
You
that
want
kind
us
of
to
thing.
feel your pain.
Yeah, pain.
Thing up.
Programming is pain. I didn't tell you that, did I?
But how do I go back and get the
Unequal.
email? I don't even know.
You have to do the Emacs and then name it.
So-
Prog3.c.
Yeah.
I'm not good.
You're over here.
That's why I went up the screen to look and see what I did.
Yeah,
before.
exactly. It's all there.
I didn't
I wanna hurry up and do it
You
before I
typed it
forget.
all in once.
Yeah, that part I don't know.
You just do print F again?
You could. You could.
Yeah, where does the second line go?
I'm asking you to
I
think about
tried
something
it.
that I haven't taught at all, just to see how you do.
Okay, so the C always has to be
It's a
there.
tad.
Okay, I think it has to.
The .c always has to be there
I'm not.
for a program.
Yeah.
The file name always has to end in .c.
I can't, it's so far up there.
I had this is me, then I had to type that whole thing all over.
Success.
You did it?
All right.
So good. Hello, hi Jennifer.
Aw.
Can you
I did it.
Can you
How
cut
can
and
they be
paste
so
from
bad?
the
I
page?
just-
See, you forgot the and at the end of prog4.c.
I don't think I named it. I think I did.
So, Control C will kill it. Start over.
Okay.
You can hit that to have it go again, and then
Oh, I forgot.
Shift, La.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so there's.
So now you're back to where you thought you were.
Okay.
This over there was
I can't approve it.
All right, looks save to me. Now? When
Yeah.
you can hit save. Yeah, that's fine. Save.
Yeah.
I made
Yay.
3,
Prog3.c.
but it didn't pull up to the line when I hit
You
L.
haven't saved
Is
it.
that what you did? Okay.
It doesn't create it until you actually save it.
And then should I type everything in it before I save it?
Yes, ideally. All right, there's probably just one problem here. Let's see. C doesn't like actual carriage returns inside strings. So think of a different way.
Oh, like all those typos. That's why it was a hard one.
I did it since I made it. Line 1, I love, line 2,
That looks good.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't save it.
Okay, save it.
Now. Oh, I have.
How we doing?
If I had done like the LS without, saving it without.
Good.
No, I remember to fix it, but you won't. Go to line 1 or go to line 10. Which was like 20 cents.
Yeah.
Now
I for sure did something wrong.
I hit now this.
All right.
order.
Hey.
You got your 2 lines out?
Glad we should make it.
Okay,
How we doing?
I did something wrong.
All
I'm
right,
not getting my
you
prompt.
forgot the end.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So if something comes up that you're not expecting,
Okay.
that's when you have to go back and look. And switch it. It was so obvious.
Whoops, you're in the wrong spot.
Oh, and I hate that. That's a bad.
I was so afraid to
Yeah.
go over here. I know. Oh my God, that was
Wait, so then,
Yeah,
you put that and after you put Emacs, you like ready to Emacs.
that's right. At the end of your Emacs,
I wanna, like,
Emacs file.
create a really long
name.
sentence.
Oh, gosh, is it always?
No. The only one you need for, in anything we do is Emacs. That you want it to stay up, and you still want to have it.
I love, and then print F, huge F. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
with the and.
Looks to me like everybody's got it going.
No, not
No,
everybody.
not everybody.
Freaking
Ah,
out.
I'm doing it again. Alright, so how are we doing? You want to run the output file, which is prog3, not prog3.c.
Perhaps do that C.
Prog3.c is the name of your text program.
I've done
And-
Prog 3 too, and it didn't work.
And where's GCC?
They haven't compiled it.
I don't see GCC here anywhere. So you want to do GCC -O, prog3, and then prog3.c. And that'll compile it. Then to run it, /prog3.
I'll email it to you.
Yeah, I can't depend
Got
on
it.
my
2 lines.
memory.
You got it.
It's last. Thanks
What
so
did it
much.
say?
You got it. Okay.
Excellent.
I had it too.
It went what?
Yes.
Oh, the GCC.
It's sort of better that I have to keep doing it like this.
You want to try, you want to run prog4? Is that what you want to do? Yeah, /prog4 will do it.
Compile and run it.
There you go. Yeah, if anybody's actually tried to run their C program with a .c at the end, you'll notice it doesn't really work because it's not an executable file. That's just a text file.
Right, it says you gave me permission, that was what you were trying to.
Yeah, you can't run a .c file, but you can run the output of the compiler, in this case, prog1.
Can't run it dot.
Did you go back and do that?
/prog1.
No, not yet.
No, no.
I don't know if
They
you.
may not even have it.
Right, they might not have done it yet, but I know they have Renee Laloux,
Compiler
which
is
is
what you run. So prog1
like
is
about
what you want to run. So
that one.
/prog1.
Mom, it's a monk, it's Renee Laloux something or
Funny
other.
that it's so,
You can look it up.
You got it?
Dumb.
work in
I've never had it, and that's what I'm trying to get to.
When I first started working,
When's the anniversary?
they had like a
But I did do a search.
programming computing
on
where they wanted to do
website, I do my age.
and I think this is probably what they were
The only one
doing.
that's
But
got
cards, and then they had to put them in there, but how we came back.
I didn't know, and I'll say that. Right over, no, my dad,
But
Susan wrote
it
out.
seems like it should be
That was sort of from there.
Yeah. Other than they spend all their time,
Yeah.
It did look like.
you know,
they had it.
fixing
Let me
it.
see what Jimmy has. He'll let me
But I
know.
guess when you're talking to a computer, this is pretty like,
College graduates, my college graduates, and they go,
Do that there.
what I did,
Because
I
I was
did contact
Mine's
but
3.
I'm picturing this is what they do, like whenever you're watching TV and they go, oh, hack into the computer.
You know where it's going to go or not?
know that backslash
General practice.
Okay.
I wonder if that should do that. Well, then I think we were there. And I think that this is like
Oh, yeah, you did it.
the application of that you can call it.
And that's how I changed it, you every time that email, and then Friday.
So the backslash, you just go down.
So I
I love it that way.
Between when it actually, like, this is my actual one, you know?
Yeah, you're right, but with a debit card.
Now, yeah,
Boom, it's coming right out of
got
there.
compiled just like normal.
My bank actually sent me a new card.
And now run it.
TCF, they do that all the time anyway,
/.
but they sent me a note, and so they're sending me a note, so they can pay attention.
But this would drive me crazy.
Ta-da. Okay.
Okay, and
So I think everybody has it working?
And they boom.
I think?
Like that?
Okay. Thinking thing?
And then in one spot I was missing.
I'm gonna have to deal with it.
How many do we have at class?
It's 12 to 1, it's just lunch. I mean, it could go forever, right? It's just lunch.
Okay, because I just didn't even want to forget it.
Yeah, I know. So, we are done. There's homework for those who want homework. And don't write it down, it's on the website. It's all on the website. So just go get it off the website and see what you think. So there's homework. And
Where are the
next time I will try to actually explain
It's in that one of our emails.
things.
Did you?
I wasn't
I can
on the
send
list.
you one.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't on the list.
If you want to write it down,
She'll send it.
I can. I'm not in the right.
Now,
How
how
do
do
we log out of
I, so I cannot do this on my own because I'm in Mac.
Okay, that's part of the homework. You can't. I'm not going to help you do it on your Mac. Because that's.
So we have to come in these rooms.
Against this
No. There's another way. Okay, right here is the website. If you want to get all this.
I'm not
So,
sure that.
as part of the homework, it tells you the name of a website where you can go to type in C programs, compile, and run. So that's what I would recommend for now. And that'll be part of your homework. Go to that site, get that to work.
Find that site.
Do the same thing you did here, get that to work, and be happy. And getting it to work on your Mac, on your PC, I'm not going to do that. I'll kill myself.
If they practice on their Mac, if that's the only way they're gonna practice, I think
it
like,
is.
if they can do wget on the Mac, can they, and
Yeah, they can
follow
do
the same
they can
instructions
do
on
the
Mac.
same commands on
The
the
terminal.
terminal.
I'm happy for you guys to help them get that to work,
Okay.
but I don't have
I'll
time.
try it on my Mac, it might just work.
Okay.
The Macs have all this stuff.
You're a great man, Lou.
Okay.
Look at all his hair right now.
He's gonna kind of be like the president and turn completely gray by the time we're done.
Oh, he'll fall right out, I bet.
Now, how do we log out this phone?
It's
Okay,
under.
log out.
Mine did.
Yeah. No, yeah, system.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on my screen, so I can't show you.
Cormier.
Stupid screen.
Yeah.
So we just-
We got it.
How did you
Yay,
find out?
thanks, Leland, that was fun.
Log out.
It's extended.
Oh.
There's back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It
don't know.
booted me back out again too, so I can't.
Just put your thing back in and then sign.
Thank you, Leland.
Thanks, Leland.
Yeah.
We're gonna apply to Google tonight.
We're gonna do what?
Get a job.
Oh,
Apply to
I would go. Have you seen the internship yet?
That'd be about
Wasn't that
us.
Cecilia?
That would be us.
Yeah.
today?
I went to tell my daughter about the
$4.99 credit?
This is completely off the books.
I want $4.99 credit.
I want to enter 100 credit. I'll be happy with you.
So, they said the issue with, Shayna,
Shayna, yes.
the issue with her, she's a pet. So,
So
did you do
I
anything?
don't care. We want her to have an account, so,
Right.
okay.
Did
So
you
I have